Hello and welcome back to Stop Hannah Time. I hope that you guys all had a good weekend, and obviously last week as well, because there wasn't a stream because I was at the London Women in Games conference, and then also there wasn't a vlog because it was a bank holiday Monday. So yeah, if you turned up, thank you very much for turning up. I hope you enjoyed my panel, but also the other panels that were going on and the workshops and things like that. Thank you as well if you turned up to I-55, whether it was on the Friday, which is the day I was there, or whether you turned up for, you know, the weekend to see some of the other guys as well. I hope you had a really nice time and that the queues weren't too bad and you enjoyed things like the pub quiz and so forth. So yeah, thank you for coming along. Thank you for saying hi if you did. And we'll see you guys at EGX, which is in a few weeks, I think. And I'm there Thursday, Friday. The information is in one of the previous vlogs. Go check it out. You can also check their website, I think. But I will be there on the Thursday and the Friday. So if you're coming along, I will see you there. Now, something that people did ask me whilst I was at I-55, where's it gone? There it is the Stop Hannah Time wristband, which the light on this camera isn't great. I apologise. The sun is beaming through the window and it's kind of making it like Two-Face shadow lands over here. We don't go in the Shadowlands. Everything the light touches is our kingdom. But yeah, people were asking on the internet when the Stop Hannah Time, oh god, it's wobbling, Stop Hannah Time wristband would be available. It's available now on the Yogs store. So if you want to pick up that one, or a Flux Buddies one, or a Shin and Sips one, and I think there's another one, is it a Sips one? Then you can go and pick those up. There aren't any Stunt Lad ones because they sold out like hotcakes. And I don't think there's any of the official Yog Labs employment ones, because I think they might be exclusive to conventions, or we've run out. I don't know. I don't know how popular these things are. Yeah, if you want to pick up a Stop Hannah Time one, then go and check the video description for a link to the shop. It should give you your local area, whether you're UK, US, etc. Because obviously we have a US store now. I think the bands are on there. If they're not, it will be the UK store, but hopefully we'll get some over there ASAP. And if you want to pick them up, then you're very welcome to, and thank you very much in advance if you do. And maybe tweet me pictures of you wearing them, because it's awesome to see swag just, you know, everywhere. It's really cool. Moving on very briefly to talk about this weekend. The hand thing is going on. My parents came down to visit. Now, if you were paying attention to my Twitter, I said I might try and do a Q&A if there's time with my mum or my dad. Now, sadly, we didn't have enough time, but I've made a note of those questions, and I'm going to try and do something at Christmas with them in relation to Advent, like when I go back and visit, film them and then bring the footage back with me and edit that up as like a New Year special or something like that. So if you asked a question, don't panic, I've got it. You haven't asked in vain. At some point it will happen. But, and you'll probably agree this was worthwhile, this is why it didn't get done. Firstly, on the Saturday we had like a games day and I had people over like Katie, and Katie is Trot's girlfriend, if you aren't aware, and Alex the editor, and a few other people. So that was really nice. So we had a little games thing with my parents, and it sort of gave them a little idea of, like, you know, what I do on a board games night, what I do with friends, because they've met some friends, but they haven't met, since I've been in Bristol, they haven't met some of the additional friends that I've made, such as Katie, who is awesome, by the way. So I thought that'd be really nice, and they liked it. Everyone seemed to enjoy themselves, which was great. And then Sunday we did some walking, and we also popped to the local garden centre because my mum was saying, we haven't bought you a birthday present and we haven't bought you a housewarming present, so we'll do something when we come down with that. And I was like, okay, cool, well, if you want to do that, I could do with getting a few extra plants for the house, because I've got some, but there are a few gaps that it felt like a certain sized plant could go in. So I was like, you could buy me a really big plant and that would be great. So we went to a garden centre, bought some stuff, and came back with a few new plants, which some of them are on my Twitter if you've seen them, including, you'll love this. Now, I've had these sitting around for ages and I haven't been able to find a plant the right size for them. May I present to you the Bulbasaur Planter? Isn't he cute? So what I've actually got in there is there is actually a plant pot, you can see it, because I thought if I try and force that in, it's going to squash some of the leaves. But we popped that in, so he's actually got a little thing that makes him look like Bulbasaur now. I was just like, this is amazing. We've finally done it, Mum. Also, special guest appearance of Oddish. It's, again, the lighting in here is dreadful today. I apologise. But also there was a weird flicker across the screen. Maybe it was a ghost, or maybe it was the render of Mad Max just finishing and causing it to go weird. Who knows? But this is Oddish. And this is actually a cutting of an aloe vera plant that I bought like 3 months ago. That grew in like 3 months. So, along with that, there's also, this is the cactus and succulent nursery that we made. Look! So there's this is a prickly pear, I think, and then you've got these 4 things are leaves, and with a succulent, all you have to do is water them and stick them in soil and leave them. There's also an aloe vera shoot there, and there's a little baby cactus as well. So that's what we were doing this weekend. We were pissing around with plants. But I had a really nice time, and I think they did as well. You will also notice this going on behind me. Yes, Mum has already sent me her Advent stuff. So it's definitely going on this year. I will ask if you are wanting to get involved in Advent, please hold off until early November. If you're international, I will accept you posting at the end of October, but bear in mind storage is a problem. So please don't send it too early, because I have to like basically reorganise my entire office to fit the parcels in. But I will do a vlog closer to the time that says what you should and shouldn't do in terms of, you know, like avoiding customs charges if you can, and making sure that you post with Royal Mail in the UK instead of a courier so that it actually gets to us, etc, etc, etc. So please hold off on that. Don't do what Mum's done and start sending stuff now. But that's just to let you know it is happening. So you can look forward to that at the end of the year. I'm pretty sure that we're not due a book review yet, but the last one I think I said was a street cat named Bob. I think a few of you were like, yeah, I remember that, I did it. Apparently they're going to make a film out of it now, but still well worth a read. Also, you can always read, if you've read the first one, there's always the sequel, which is The World According to Bob, which is about how they wrote the book and things like that. So if you're interested in more from James Bevan, then you can do that. Otherwise, you might like to pick up Prayer by Philip Kerr. It's a ridiculous, apparently modern horror story. To date, I've not found, I'm only that far in, but to date it's not been that horror-y. The whole concept is it's an FBI agent investigating domestic terrorism, and he used to be a religious man, but he started to question God, etc. He's asked to explain a series of unexplainable deaths that happen to people like Richard Dawkins, sort of, you know, non-believers, liberal-viewed people who would claim that there is no God and so forth, and they're all starting to die, and he thinks there's something weird. And then a woman turns herself in and says she's prayed that they would die, or something, and that God's killed them, and then like that, I'm only that far in and that's already happened. And then the whole thing is about like eventually he gets, like, or according to the back, eventually gets involved and so forth. So I guess we'll see how it turns out, but I'm enjoying it so far. I agree with what the Sunday Times says on the back, which is an orthodox thriller with Dan Brown-ish overtones and a Stephen King style paranormal horror. So it's a little combination of the two, so if you like one or the other, maybe give it a go. So far, I am enjoying it. Again, this was one I picked up at the magical shop that was it 4 books for £10? So, you know, I'm doing well off of this. I'm doing very well on what I found. I've also got, I think after this we might do either a Stephen Fry or a John Cleese biography. I don't know, autobiography I should say. But we'll see. So yeah, if you're interested in prayer, maybe go and check it out. Don't forget as well, Girl with All the Gifts was one that I recommended a while back. I've heard from a few of you saying that you picked it up and you read it, and I'm glad that you enjoyed it. On the whole, I had some really positive feedback on that. So if you are looking for a book and you didn't pick up The Girl with All the Gifts, that might be one for you, especially if you like The Last of Us. There was a few of the Last of Us vibes I was getting from it. It's quite obvious in some areas why, but if you like that sort of stuff, it might be right up your street. Moving on, live stream this week. It is going to happen, as usual, on the Wednesday between 4 and 6. Do tune in for that. It's at twitch.tv/yogsHannah. I might be trying YouTube gaming out over the next few weeks, but it won't be in the Wednesday slot if it happens, so don't panic. That's always going to be on Twitch. I am very conscious about the fact that subscribers have paid for icons. They have subscribed to the channel. I am not going to fuck them over by abandoning Twitch. Also, I quite like the ability for people in Germany to actually be able to watch my live streams. And not have the live copyright music thing going down that seems to be a problem for some people. If you don't know what that means, basically if YouTube works out that you're playing copyrighted music, gives you a 60-second warning to stop it before it shuts your stream down. I don't want that. So don't panic. I might experiment with it over the next few weeks. We'll have to see how my time is used and so forth, because all over the place currently, with conventions and different personal things and, you know, the gym and things like that. So if I can fit some stuff in, I definitely will try. But don't panic, basically. I'm not leaving Twitch. Wednesday will always be Twitch. Now, if you want to come and watch on Wednesday, I was going to finish Everyone's Gone to the Rapture, but quite a few people are going, can we not? Like, it's a bit Archer Simulator, isn't it? And so what I would like you guys to do is in the comments let me know whether you'd rather have the end of Everyone's Gone to the Rapture or just some free roam in Mad Max for 2 hours, which we could totally do. And I know quite a lot of you were saying you'd like to see Mad Max side stuff on camera, so that would give the perfect opportunity for you guys to do so, because I will put out highlights from the live stream, if it's good, onto the channel anyway, so you won't miss out. So do let me know in the comments, would you like Mad Max or would you like Everyone's Gone to the Rapture on Wednesday, and I will see what I can do. In terms of the content as well, Mad Max, that's all we've got for a while. Kim is going to be back in the next... she's back next week, I think. So depending on how she recovers from jet lag, because obviously she's been in Malaysia, we will do some Fright Nights. So we will get Until Dawn rolling. We will get some other stuff rolling. We've got Soma later this month as well, so you should be having a bucket load of Fright Night over the next few weeks, as soon as it starts, whenever that will be. But as soon as it starts, you should have Fright Night for months. I want to say months, probably will be months. So keep an eye out for that. But until then, we're just going to do some Mad Max and mess around. I hope you guys are enjoying Mad Max anyway. You can always leave suggestions for other games in the comments section below. Don't ask me to do Metal Gear Solid. I don't play the games. I'm not a fan of the franchise, really. I never have been, so that's probably never going to be a Let's Play. Just to say that now. It's not that I think the franchise is bad or anything, it's just it's never really appealed to me, because I think I missed the bandwagon quite early on that. So that's just so you guys know that. In terms of the Q&A, let's have a quick look at some questions. So the first question is from Melissa Dolan, who says, I've seen you wear a lot of different nail polish. Case in point, currently wearing it now. What nail polish colour and brand do you recommend? Now, it depends on how much money you've got to work with, because if you've got the time and the money to consider doing like the 3-week stuff that's quite resilient, because for me, like gaming, mouse, washing up, any of that stuff, it comes off immediately. Gym as well, gym chips nails like no one's business. So I go for the 3-week stuff. Now, the 3-week stuff is stuff you can get in the salon. Usually it's called shellac, so S-H-E-L-L-A-C. It usually uses a UV machine that you put your nails into, and you do it per layer. It requires a base coat and a top coat that are both clear. They're separate things. You can't use the base of the top and so forth. You probably could, but that's not how they market it. And then you have a colour as well that you put on 2 layers of. Now, Katie and I do quite a lot of this. Like if we have a social night, she'll come over and we'll have a little nail time, and she'll do some of the other ladies' nails as well, because Katie is very, very good at nails. If you've seen her pictures of her doing her own nails, she's really good. And she's self-taught as well, and it's like, what? But we originally both went to salons to get them done. So like 3-week salon treatments are between £30 and £40 per time. Now it's worked out, and I read something in an article somewhere in a magazine that said if you do it yourself, so you buy the machine, which only costs about 20 quid from Amazon, and you buy the nail varnish, which is only about £10 per bottle, you can save £250 a year if you just start doing your own nails. And so Katie and I did that. So we are still using the shellac brand, and I would say if you're going to go for the UV stuff, pick up shellac, because some of the knockoff stuff is a bit thin, like the colour stuff is a bit thin, and it doesn't spread as easily, I think is the way of saying that. It doesn't, yeah, it doesn't spread, so you get this like clumpiness, but you also get, the colour isn't as consistent across the nail as well. So I would go for shellac if you want to do UV. If you don't want to do UV and you want to do normal, then I would suggest using Google, which is a fantastic tool if you've ever got any queries or you need reviews of stuff, to have a look at what brands are in your local area, by which I mean if you're US or you're UK based and so forth. If you're UK based, Boots has a lot of really good nail varnishes, or just Superdrug as well. I was going to say Superdrug has nail varnish. Number 7 I think isn't bad, which I think is Boots' own brand. But it's been so long since I've used normal stuff, I wouldn't be able to tell you. Nails Inc isn't bad actually either, but they are a bit pricey. So it's all about taking with a pinch of salt what you can buy, maybe looking up online what other users think. You can also potentially go into the store, and if they've got testing bottles, get like a bit of card, and you know, put some of the colour on and just see how it sort of sits and what it looks like. Maybe how it dries. It might not dry the same way as it would on a nail, but it might give you an idea of what it would look like before you do anything with it. But yeah, I would say if you're going to do it and you want to do nails and you want to have nail varnish on all the time, it might be worth picking up a shellac UV machine thing from Amazon if you can, if you could afford it basically, because it saves so much money and it gives you a lot more wear and tear out of your nails. Like I can go to the gym with these, I can wash my, like do the washing up, I can do gaming, and these won't chip the same way that, you know, apply and dry stuff would. So I am totally an advocate of shellac nail varnish. So I hope that helped. Thank you for your question. The final question of the day is from Charlie May 6. I think that's how you say it. I don't know, I apologise. The underscore halfway through has thrown me. But they ask, do you have any of your very first videos? Yes, they should all be on either the main channel or on this channel. I haven't, to the best of my knowledge, nothing's been removed. We have lost a few of the boss fight things on the main channel due to copyrighted music very early on. Stuff that, you know, you can see, if you know what to look for, you could see Duncan and myself with our WoW characters just messing around in the background. But the very first videos that are on this channel should very much still be here. Would I make a reaction video based on one of them? Probably not, because I cringe at my own work. It's a very weird thing to describe, but I don't really like reaction videos. I don't think like things like kids react to. Like, it depends on what it is actually. To be fair, some of them are pretty good. Like, was it the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air they reacted to? And it was like, yeah, okay. That guy looks like Will Smith. It's because he is Will Smith, genius. So it depends on what it is, but I don't really like watching my own stuff back and then reacting to it. It's a bit cringy as well for me. Like, it just feels like it's a bit too much. Look at me. When you could spend your time doing much better things. I don't even share videos with like my parents or any of that. Like, if someone plays it in the same room as me, even if it's one of the editors, because 90% of the stuff I edit myself, but every now and then there'll be something that they edit and they'll go, oh, can I show you this to check it's okay? And they'll play it and I'm like, oh, I don't like hearing myself. Like, oh god, what's going on? So I don't even like watching them back at a time, let alone like several years in the future. I'll occasionally send my dad and mum something that's, you know, like I've gone to a convention and I said I was going to do an interview or whatever. I'll send them that so they know what I've done. To be fair, they'd look anyway. And things like, for example, the PT demo, where people will never be able to play it. If they ask me what it was like, I might send them that, because that's the only way they're going to be able to see it. Or, you know, if someone's asking me, so like, I think Rav's asked me about Batman when it came out, and what it was like and how optimised it was for PC, because we know that train wreck. I think I sent him video 1 and said, have a look, see what you think. I've sent that with like Mad Max as well to someone else, and that's the only reason I'd really send them or have any further interaction with them, past putting them up, checking the comments and things like that. I think that might also be off the back of the fact that I'm editing them, so I see them enough anyway. Like, I have to watch the whole thing. Like, it takes over an hour sometimes to edit the videos that you see, like a 15 to 20 minute video, depending on what it is. So I've already seen it plenty by the time it gets to you guys. So yeah, I hope that sort of makes sense. And off the back of that, the final part of the question is, how long does it take for you to feel comfortable producing your content for YouTube? Or have you always been natural with it? No, I'm very self-conscious, and oddly I hate public speaking, which is why it's so funny when I do things like panels, because I am terrified. I absolutely hate doing them, but at the same time, once I'm out there, especially if I'm out there with other people, I do enjoy myself. But it took a very long time to feel comfortable, especially because there were other people in the house, because Simon and Lewis were living with me at the time, and so I was very conscious that I was talking to myself while they were either next door or upstairs, and sounded like a complete loon, even though they were doing exactly the same thing at different times. So that did take quite a long time to come through, and I still have problems with it now and then anyway. So if I go to a capture event and I'm on my own and I'm doing live vocals, which I don't tend to do as much now, because actually it's slightly easier to just go and do it afterwards, because, you know, you can have quite loud things going on in the background, which just makes the sound go a bit weird, or make it inaudible for people to hear you anyway. But those kind of things I feel really awkward, because I'm like, I'm just going to be sitting here talking into a mic to myself whilst I'm playing a game. I must look like I'm completely mad. Yeah, so it's weird. It is weird, and I feel a lot more comfortable when I am on my own in the house or wherever. I don't mind doing it in the office actually either, because the rooms are fairly soundproofed. You can shut the door and that's that. But there is still an element of not feeling comfortable sometimes, depending on the situation. So if you're just starting out on YouTube and anxiety is an issue for you, we've all been there. Some of us are still there. Don't panic. It's like outward appearance, I look pretty confident. I am on my own in the flat currently, so no one's going to walk in and be like, oh, what are you doing? But yeah, don't panic. It's still very much a thing that I am conscious of in certain environments. So yeah, it's not like, if it appears natural, then amazing. But it's not always natural. Clearly I'm just a very good bluffer, apparently. But thank you very much for your question. Yeah, I hope that helps anyone who's just starting on YouTube or whatever, and does feel self-conscious, that you're not alone, and we've all been there, and it does get better. So cool, thank you very much. So that is it for the Q&A and the vlog today. I hope you guys have had a nice time. Don't forget to check out Mad Max as well. And don't forget to let me know in the comments what you'd like to see on Wednesday, whether it's Everyone's Gone to the Rapture or Mad Max. You can also leave questions for next week's Q&A in there, and any other stuff as well that I talked about during the video. Don't forget to go and check out the wristbands if you are interested in picking up any of those. And I will see you guys next week. Thank you very much for watching.